time 7 o'clock. Before I will go ahead and call the meeting to order, ask the clerk please call roll.
Jim Benage.
Present.
Jeff Elshoff.
Here.
Jeff Haas.
Here.
Betty Martine.
Here.
Justin Smith.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mayor.
Wonderful, thank you. And we'll begin tonight's meeting. Ask everyone to join us in a moment of silent prayer, and then we will say the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag. Now please rise and join us in the same Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I want to welcome everybody to our first meeting in April of your Bel Aire City Council. We have an extremely short agenda this evening. Matter of fact, there's just one item on that, but with all of our meetings, we're going to begin with the consent agenda, which consists simply of the minutes of our last meeting, which took place on March 20th, 2018.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I move to approve the consent agenda as listed and authorize the mayor to sign.
Second.
First and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 7 here is appropriations ordinance 2018-07. This totals this time $296,877.06.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I move to approve appropriations ordinance 18-07.
Second.
First and second, are there any questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. City requested appearances, I have none. Guessing no one in the audience wants. All right. Then we're going to move right into the first thing is our proclamation for April 2000 Fair Housing Month. And I do not see anybody here from the Fair Housing Organization, so I will go ahead and read that proclamation from the bench. To the citizens of Bel Aire, Kansas, greetings. Whereas the Congress of the United States passed the Civil Rights Act of 1968, of which Title VIII declared that the law of the land would now guarantee the rights of equal housing opportunity. And whereas the city of Bel Aire is committed to the mission and intent of Congress to provide fair and equal housing opportunities for all. And today, many realty companies and associations support fair housing laws. Whereas the fair housing groups and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development have over the years received thousands of complaints of alleged illegal housing discrimination and found too many that have proved upon investigation to be violations of the fair housing laws. And whereas equal housing opportunity is a condition of life in our city that can and should be achieved. Therefore, David Austin, Mayor, do hereby proclaim the month of April 2018 as Fair Housing Month in the city of Bel Aire, and hope, that this year's observance will promote fair housing practices throughout the entire year in Bel Aire. Pass that on to the clerk, please. Citizens' concerns? No one for that. We'll move on to reports. And we'll start today. Remember which way we started last time? So I think we'll start with Councilmember Elshoff.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have a brief report. First of all, I wanted to mention that I attended the Chisholm Creek Utility Authority Board. That was on March 22nd. So just a couple of things we covered was some maintenance that we had, some repair maintenance going on. There's some upgrades, there is a small issue concerning the metering, and so we approved the purchase of a new strap meter that'll help give them more accuracy in metering wastewater. And So things are going well there, I think. Since I'm the first to give a report, I just wanted to mention, I wanted to just say a thank you to the volunteers that helped put on the Easter celebration and the Easter egg hunt and the festivities for our Easter festival. It was really great. I was there with my family, and just thank you to all the people behind the scenes that make that happen. I know there's a lot of work that goes on, so thank you. I also want to extend a thank you to our Utility Advisory Committee. They've put in a lot of work that goes on also behind the scenes, ensuring that we have good water supply and all the issues that come along with that. I know their ongoing mission this year is to work on the water conservation plan for 2018. So thank you to that committee for their work. And also just want to thank the Planning Commission. We saw a couple of their results of all their work recently with the new plats and some of the drawings and things that they've been working on. So thank you to those volunteers as well. The latest report from the tree board showed that they're working on a lot of things, and we've seen a lot of new trees going up around Bel Aire. So we're thankful to their work as well. And then also I just wanted to mention as well, last Monday on March 26th, the senior club invited all of us council members and the mayor and our wives to the, I guess it was just a dinner with the senior club, and that was really great. I got to, along with everyone else up here, meet and greet the members of the senior club and dine with them and talk to them and get to know them. And my wife and I were really thankful for the food that they shared with us, and I think I speak for everybody up here. We had a really wonderful evening, so thank you for that. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, just a couple of quick comments. I also was able to attend the Spring Festival with my wife, and that was really a fantastic event. The weather was great, the turnout was amazing, and I just wanted to say a big thanks to all the volunteers that made that happen. I think those events are really important, and they're the types of events that really draw people to Bel Aire and are going to help us continue to grow, and it was really a fun time. And so a big thanks to everyone that made that possible. And then also a big thanks to the Bel Aire Seniors Club for that opportunity to go have dinner with them. It was really great to get the opportunity to go answer questions and get to know some of the members of the senior club and hear what they had to say and learn more about what they do. So a big thanks for that invitation and that opportunity.
Well, I did attend the Easter egg hunt. I got elected to do the table for 3 to 5 year olds, and boy, are there a lot of them. And I had to recruit 2 other people to help me because I couldn't tear the bands off quick enough. But the little kids had a great time. I also attended the senior dinner on the 26th. The 27th, which was Tuesday, I attended the Stormwatch meeting, which I've attended every one since they started it at the old City Hall. And you learn something each time. There was about 20 people there. Mr. Fox came in and introduced everybody, and it was really something. He has a lot of films and stuff, so next year when that comes around, you guys, all of you should try to go because it was very good. On the 28th, they had a funeral for Carl Costner, which used to be the former mayor of Cheney. He was very, very active in REAP. He was 66 years old, and he was serving as a present council member. So I'm sure Cheney's really going to miss his presence. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Yeah, I echo the thanks for the Easter egg hunt and Bel Aire City Council or Bel Aire City people for volunteering for that. I was able to also attend. I took a couple of my grandchildren. They had a great time with that. Never saw so many eggs clear a field in 45 seconds. So that was very cool. Also, I want to thank particularly Councilmember Justin Smith and his wife Jessica, Ty Lasher, and Stacy, and Tristan for their help with the Interfaith Ministries. That was a great success. I am only $10 out of pocket with all the great donations on that, so that was very, very generous of folks to donate to that as well. So thank you very much.
Councilmember Hawes?
Yeah, I'd like to publicly thank the Senior Club for inviting us as well. I'd also like to thank them for sharing recipes. The food was delicious. So, I want to give a big thank you to the Community Development Committee, to Tristan, our Community Development Specialist, to Brian with the Rec Center. I know how much work they put in to pull off the Spring Festival. I know the plans of the future is to make it bigger and better for everybody. I know they had over 13,000 eggs filled in 4 fields, all of which went very quickly. So I think it was a huge success. It was great seeing everybody out enjoying, even though it was a little cooler than we would have liked. But you know, I think that shows the commitment of the people of Bel Aire to be able to put that on with the volunteers and just what we're willing to do to help the citizens. So.
Appreciate it. I have no formal report either. I want to sound like a broken record up here, but yeah, the Senior Club dinner was just a great event. It was great to fellowship with them, and it was just a real nice, relaxed time. And I went back and got seconds because there was so much food. I took a little itty bitty bit of each one, and but you didn't want to pass up any of those. And then Councilmember Benosh talked about 13,000 eggs disappeared in 45 seconds. I think they say the Kentucky Derby is the fastest 2 minutes. Well, I know what the fastest 45 seconds is. It's right here in Bel Aire with the Spring Festival, and it was great to see people there until the end and even afterwards with the food trucks, and stick around to kind of help clean up afterwards. And I was really proud that day. Want to let a couple things coming up. The brush site is going to open up, I think that's next Saturday, so we can start doing that. I know it doesn't feel like it, but I promise you spring will be here. And I actually saw a few big limbs down from the wind earlier, so I want to let everybody know the brush site does open the second Saturday in April. And then finally, we do have some I know we've gotten a couple of applications in that we'll get to a future meeting, but we do, if anybody's interested in volunteering to serve on the tree board or the planning commission or the community development committee, I would encourage them to send a note or a text or a phone call or a tweet, whatever it is you do to communicate, to reach one of us or to reach City Hall, and we can look forward to receiving that. And finally, I want to welcome back our police chief, who went through some really interesting training at the FBI Center, and then came back from vacation, and we're glad that he is back and hitting the streets again. So welcome back, and glad you had the time. With that, I'll turn it over to the city attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do not have a report.
Okay, city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to follow up on your notice that the brush site opens next Saturday, the 14th. It's open from 9 to 1. We also have mulch available, so it's free. So if anybody needs to do some mulching around the house, just go out to the brush site and pick up as much as you like. What we did was sometimes we'll burn the pile at the end of the year, but with the fire burn bans and the weather and such, we actually hired a company that came out and mulched all of our brush site. And so we were able to work with the local landscaping company to get rid of some of that, and in return they gave us some free labor, and then the rest of it we've been using around the city hall and the parks, and we still have some left, so citizens are welcome to have it. And so you can drop off some limbs, pick up some mulch, or if you just need some mulch, just go pick it up. It's out there. So thank you, Mayor.
Appreciate that. And yet, I do want to remind everybody, I think everybody is aware we are under a burn ban. Yeah, so, and hopefully we get some moisture soon, because I think we're going to look at drought conditions before long. We're starting to see that in the media, so we will be paying close attention to that. With that, we want to move on to our one and only action item this evening, and that is to consider the final plat for Sunflower Commerce Park, the second edition. And what this is, when Epic Sports purchased the 20 acres there north of 53rd Street, that parcel is identified as Sunflower Commerce Park Second, and it needs to be platted. That's all we're doing tonight. This process has occurred, and the Planning Commission approved the plat at their March meeting. So this is a formality that we now need to, as a governing body, approve. Basically, what is that? Final approval, I guess, if you will. Then the platting allows us to continue selling lots in Phase 2 where the utilities are available. So this is a necessary formality. I'm going to encourage approval of that this evening.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I motion to approve the final plat for Sunflower Commerce Park Second Edition and authorize all required signatures.
Second.
First and second, are there any questions or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And discussion of future issues under this. Wanted to you see, I did not put a April workshop on the agenda, and wanted to see if there's anybody or anything that you guys thought that we would or should have one to discuss. My thinking on this was, at our last workshop, we gave the staff a lot of things, asked them to look up a lot of things, and they're working on that. I'm satisfied with what they're doing with that. And then I want to let council know that at the first meeting in May, during my regular report time, I'm going to give, kind of lay out what I think is not mine, but vision for the future of this city, and really call it a state of the city, if you will. And let's look at the different avenues that we want to take collectively as a governing body to move us forward. Not going to do a formal state of the city like we've done in the past, where we send out invitations and go to the podium. And I just want to kind of lay that out, some things with a lot of the information we've asked for out of the last couple of workshops, and that information with the thinking with that, again, that would be at the first meeting in May, so our first Tuesday in May. Then we would have a May workshop, because I would certainly ask that all of you offer feedback, thoughts, suggestions, and we all really have some real discussion, as opposed to just me getting up there talking and then sitting down and going through a meeting. I think I would like to point out some things, kind of show, like I said, different avenues, different roads, and really see. We've talked a lot as a governing body about what are our goals, which way do we want to move forward, and there are some different ways that we can move forward. The good news is that I believe all of the ways moves us forward. So just really have some talk about that, and that's also the reason for the timing on that is wanted you guys to be here for a couple of months before we really looked at that. Then starting in June is when we'll really start looking at our budget. So that's why I'm kind of backtracking the timing here. We can have some preliminary discussion at the May workshop. So that was my thinking, which is why you don't see an April workshop on the agenda. But by all means, if there's something you guys think that we do need to have one next week, then speak now, please.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
I think it's a very good idea.
What, to not have one?
Not have one, and you give the speech in 1st of May and workshop in May.
Okay. Sounds good.
Mr. Mayor, I'm fine with not having a workshop. I did ask Ty to look into the possibility, and just throwing it out to the council now, because I've not talked with anybody about this, obviously, for open meeting reasons, but a possibility of looking at doing meetings where we have Skype, because sometimes I travel and sometimes you travel and others have to travel from time to time. So is it possible to attend these meetings via Skype, and I know that that has to be researched and looked into. So just so you're aware that there is, I think Ty's already started the rules looking into that, but anyway, just kind of a heads up.
And I appreciate you bringing that up, and I think so far the research has shown that I think that can happen, right?
Yes, I can follow up with an email citing the laws on it, but we can have a meeting via Skype so long as the meeting still occurs in a place that the public can access and get to, and it's better that a majority of the council be present, physically present, and then one or two be attending via Skype. So that's pretty much going to be the answer, that it'll be fine so long as it's not a majority.
Again, just let the public know, because talk about that, we're not talking a lot of time, but certainly we want to accommodate working schedules and do all that. So, but we can have more discussion about that too. You're not planning to travel between now and the May workshop, are you? Or is
The
there?
May workshop might be a problem for me.
Oh, okay.
It
You
looks
may
like
have
I
a Skype in for the first time at that one.
looks like I'll have to be in Missouri that day.
Okay. All right, appreciate you letting us know about that. Is there anything else that needs to come before council this evening? Not. I have no need for an executive session. Anything else? If not, then at, what time are we? At 7:21, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr.
Mr.
Mayor.
Mayor,
Go ahead.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.